Welcome to this beautiful day that the Lord has made. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Jaya Girivaradari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava, enjoying the loving pastimes in the forest groves of Vrindavan, done by the bank of the Jamuna River. Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Vivajakacharya Astottara Sata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Vivajakacharya Astottara Sata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur Goswami Maharaja Prabhupada ki jai. Krantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Devamrita Swaminiti Namane Pachai Purvaraksham Cha Bhaktachar Pravinata Parartatapi Karanyam Yasya Sarvejti Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavari Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. Today we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, I believe, chapter 10, text number 25 and 26. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Just on a side note, we just found out yesterday that Kori's name actually means, it refers to a type of forest grove, which is exactly like the ones where Radha and Krishna enjoy the loving pastimes, where the Ashtasakis have their unique environmental arrangements for the pleasures of Radha and Krishna. Kori is actually named after that in some sort of old Greek language. Isn't that cool? Imagine having that as your name. A hollow in a forest, which is where the most spiritual activities take place. So, there you go. Doesn't even need to be initiated. It's already got such a Krishna conscious name. Anyway, getting back to the Srimad Bhagavatam, text number 25 says, Prasada sumukham drishtva brahmanarahim harim stutva vagbi pavitrabhihi prahadevadibir vitaha. Prasada sumukham drishtva brahmanara harim harim stutva vagbi pavitrabhihi prahadevadibir vitaha. Prasada sumukham drishtva brahmanara harim harim stutva bhagbi pavitrabhihi prahadevadibir vritaha. Would anyone like to chant the verse?
Hare Krishna. Prasada sumukham drishtva brahmanara harim harim stutva Vagvi Paritrabi Brahadevadibir Vritaha.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else feeling courageous? A little Sanskrit in the morning?
Prasada sumukham drishtva brahmanara harim harim stutva vagbi pavitrabhi prahadevadibhir vrita.
Jai, is that Sachi Devi calling in?
Hi, Bo.
Wow, I didn't know this is an international Bhagavatam class. Incredible. Nice to hear you.
Nice to see you.
Word for word translation says, Prasada sumukham, whose face was bright because the Supreme Lord was pleased. Wow. Prasada sumukham. That's the goal, right? To have a sumukham, a nice face, because of receiving the mercy of the Lord, prasada. Or because of eating prasadam. That also causes sumukham. Drishtva, seeing the situation. Brahma, Lord Brahma. Nara Harim, unto Lord Nrsimhadev. Harim, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Stutva, offering prayers. Vagbihi, by transcendental words. Pavitrabihi, without any material contamination. Praha, addressed the Lord. Deva Adibihi, by other demigods. Vritaha, surrounded. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Lord Brahma, surrounded by the other demigods, was bright-faced because the Lord was pleased. Thus he offered prayers to the Lord with transcendental words. Text number 26 says, Shri Brahmovacha Deva Deva Kiladyaksha Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja Jishtyate Nihata Papo Loka Santapanosra Deva Deva Kiladyaksha Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja Dishtyate Nihata Papo Loka Santapanosra Deva Deva Kiladyaksha Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja Dishtyate Nihata Papo Loka Santapanosra. Would anyone else like to chant the Sanskrit? I was listening to some classes of Srila Prabhupada lately, and it's amazing how so many devotees would recite the Sanskrit. And it seems like Prabhupada wanted the devotees to make half of the Bhagavatam class just reciting the Sanskrit, so that, of course, in time, one would become very familiar with the language, with a lot of the vocabulary, and in this way understand the text more deeply. So it's nice to try chanting when you can. Prabhupada liked it.
Hare Krishna. Pribra Deva Deva Kiladaksha Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja Krishyate Nihata Bhapo Loka Santapanosara.
Shri Bhagavatam Deva Devi Latyaksha Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja Distyate Nitaha Papo Loka Santa Panosura.
Haribo. Thank you, Leela Kishore. Mataji. Nicely done. Okay, word for word again says, Shri Brahma Uvacha. Lord Brahma said, Deva Deva, O my Lord, Lord of all the demigods. Akila Adyaksha, owner of the whole universe. Akila means everything. Adyaksha, one who has supervision over everything. Bhuta Bhavana, O cause of all living entities. Such nice names here. Bhuta, of course, is all the forms of the bodily forms of different living entities. Bhavana, their manifestation, their creation. Purvaja, O original personality of Godhead, one who is the original cause of everything, who gives birth to everything. Purvaja. Purva can mean previously or also the origin, the first thing. Distya, by your example, or because of our good fortune. Te, by you. Nihataha, killed. Papa, most sinful. Loka santapanaha, giving trouble to the entire universe. Asuraha, the demon Hiranyakashipu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Brahma said, O Supreme Lord of all lords, proprietor of the entire universe, O Benedictor of all living entities. O original person, Adi Purusha. Because of our good fortune, you have now killed this sinful demon, who was giving trouble to the entire universe. Purport. The word Purvaja is described in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text number 8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate. All the demigods, including Lord Brahma, are manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the original person, the cause of all causes, is Govinda, the Adi Purusham. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shiguru Shiyuta Parakamalam Shigurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dear devotees, we should know for certain that the Krishna consciousness movement is actually the only thing that can do any good for anyone, anywhere in this world. Because only the Krishna consciousness movement can awaken love of God in the heart and relieve one of the bodily concept of life, which is, let's be frank, the cause of all of our problems. On a real practical level, cause of all of our problems is ignorance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the person, Krishna, and our testy, our testy and highly problematic relationship with this material body and things in relation to this body. If people in the world became Krishna conscious by the expansion of this knowledge of Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam, the chanting of the holy names, practically speaking, all of the world's problems could be solved overnight. Do we have faith and conviction in that? I do. I gotta be honest. I really do. Knowing the Lord as the cause of all causes, as the Purvaja, as the benedictor of all living entities, as the proprietor of the entire universe, one has actually become peaceful. Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutamam gyatva mam shantim richati. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. I can't remember the verse number. You'll have to just trust me. But Krishna is saying, gyatva mam. If you know me as such, as what? The enjoyer, bhokta, ram, yagya, tapas of every endeavor. Yagya, of course, can mean sacrifice, But as it's described in the third and fourth chapter, it really refers to every single endeavor. It's a type of yajna. And the Lord is the enjoyer of all of it. That's the repository of all of those efforts. The worthwhile enjoyer of all of the efforts of man. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. If we know the Lord as such, then there can be peace. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. If we understand Krishna as the actual controller, the Maha Ishvara, the great controller of Sarva Loka, all domains, including central Pennsylvania. And what to speak of other problematic areas of the world. I don't want to name them and open up that whole can of worms. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, one who knows the Lord is the proprietor of all those domains. That person can have peace. Shanti Mrichiti. And Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. That Krishna is the best friend. Suhrida. Hrida means heart, of course. Hridayante, within the heart. Suhrida, that one who's very close to the heart. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam, of all living entities. The best, dearest friend. Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Devotion, he does an analysis of different types of friends. Suhridam is the most intense friend, very near to the heart, the nearest to the heart. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. That's how we're supposed to know the Lord. Gyatva Mam. Krishna's saying, please, that's how you should know me. Not just as some other boss, just another boss that I need to placate with pitiable pleas. Please give me something. I'll give you this. Please, you give me something too. Like so many other mundane bosses in this world. But to know the Lord as the Suhridam, it's the dearmost friend. Gyatvam Shanti Mrichati. That literally solves all the problems of material existence. Do we have that conviction? If we do, then we can preach Krishna consciousness and actually do something beneficial for this world and do something beneficial for ourselves. If we have this confidence that this is the solution, that if I want real peace, Shanti, if I want to stop suffering in this world, I need to know the Lord Krishna. My anxiety should only be to help others to know Krishna. This is the mysticism of the Sankirtan movement, actually. If you worry more about others who are not Krishna conscious, who have no understanding of the Lord as the best friend in the heart, as the controller of all domains, as the enjoyer of every endeavor, if we're more concerned about them, the mystical magic of Sankirtana is that your own problems just disintegrate. They shrink into nothing. As if an ocean just turned into a little puddle the size of a calf's hoof print. That's the statement in the Shastra. Most everybody has seen calves. If you frequent Gita Nagari, I don't know if you've had the good fortune of seeing one of their little hoof prints in the mud. I have seen, I immediately remembered this analogy given in Bhagavatam. It's very small. You know, these calves, they walk on stilts practically. When they're first born, they're so tiny. Their footprint is just like a little circle. You could wrap your fingers around it. And if they step in the mud, they make a tiny little hole. And if there's some rain, it fills up with what? 2 tablespoons of water? This is the example given in the Shastra, that the ocean of problems of material existence shrinks down to like this tiny little puddle made by the hoof print of a calf. This is a tangible experience that we can have in Krishna consciousness, especially if We're anxious for Krishna's Sankirtan movement, anxious for those who do not have Krishna consciousness, like Prahlad Maharaj is demonstrating in his prayers. Naivo dvije paraduratyaya vaitaranyas tadvirya gaina mahamrita magna chitta shoche tato vimukacheta sa indriyarta maya sukhaya param udvahato vimudham. Prahlad Maharaj, we just heard, he's demonstrating. What is the result of just preaching Krishna consciousness, of making that your only concern? He says, my Lord, I have no problems anywhere on this side of the Vaitarani river, which means in this material world. I've got no problems. Naivo dvije paraduratyaya vaitaranyas. Why? Tvadvirya gayana mahamrita magnachito. I'm always gaying, I'm singing the great nectar, Maha Amrita Magna Chitta, of your wonderful personality, O Lord. That's what I'm doing all the time. I'm always energetically, Tvadvirvagayana, always energetically singing the glories of your magnificent personality. But then Prahlad says, but actually I do have some lamentation. Shoche, I suffer. Shoche tato, but for what? He just said, I don't have any problems. I have no problems, even though I'm on this side of the Vaitarani River. I'm in this material world. He says, I have no problems. How is that possible? Wouldn't we like to be in that category? Have no problems? And yet he says, Shoche, I lament. Shoche tato vimukha chetasa indriyarta. Maya sukhaya. I lament only for those fools and rascals. Muta. Vimukha. Soche tato vimukha. What is it? No, I lost it. Soche tato vimukha chetasa indriyarta maya sukhaya. I lament only for those fools and for those rascals who, thinking that their senses are very valuable, thinking that every sensual titillation is really important, indriya arta, they've invested their value into these senses, and therefore they're chasing after maya sukha, an illusory happiness, like a mirage, like a puff of smoke, like a flash of light. You think that it's there, but it's not. Like an image on a screen, it's a virtual reality. Like one who watches some movie and identifies with the characters. Oh, if I could be this person, or if I could feel like that. Maya sukha. It's just an illusion. It's a virtual projection. We know when, for whatever reason, we might see some sort of film on a screen. We know, well, that's not me. This is just some script. This is someone's imagination. This is some engineered environment. What is created here on this screen? It's manufactured. We know when we're watching the screen, but we don't know when we're watching the screen of this material world. That's indriyarta, maya sukha. This is also a virtual reality. But we're thinking, I gotta get something from my senses all the time. They're so dear, indriya arta. That's what's really valuable. I'm gonna work hard for that. And then chasing after this illusion, maya sukha. Prahlad says, Shoche tato, I lament for them. Soche tato vimukha chetasa indriyarta maya sukhaya baram udvahato vimudhan. They're very, very bewildered, these people that I lament for. Prabhupada employing his divine right, really, to translate the bhava anuvada, the mood of this verse. He adds a line to that verse. It's not really in the Sanskrit, but Prabhupada adds a line. I'm simply concerned out of love for them. This is the Sankirtan movement. Concern out of love for the vimudhas, the super fools. who, valuing their senses above everything else, chase after a virtual reality. If we saw someone, one of our friends or loved ones, just getting too much into some show or a movie, you know how maybe some of us used to do, I hope not. You just like get too absorbed into some character, some Lord of the Rings character or some anime. I know a lot of people that really get into this, got this show and it's my character, and they like they make it their whole life. And you'd look and you think, all right, this is concerning. It's too much. That you're like fully invested in this character. It's just a show. It's just a movie, right? We would feel a little concerned to see someone like that, just so obsessing over, I gotta watch my show, or I gotta see the latest episode, and I gotta buy all the merchandise, and I gotta make this my whole personality, someone else's engineered personality, written by some group of writers somewhere that passed the review of some board. But I gotta make that personality my own. We would be really concerned if someone is obsessing over a character in a movie or in a show. We'd be very worried. But in the same way, Prahlad is saying, I'm concerned for those who are obsessed with the virtual reality of this world. Maya Sukha, thinking the senses are very important and very valuable. Indriya Artha. I'm concerned out of love for them. This is the core of the Sankirtan movement. This is the solution, not only to all of our problems, but to all of the problems of the world. If we can cultivate that feeling of Prahlad, this compassion for the suffering of living entities, and make an effort for the pleasure of Krishna to help them, actually all of your own problems are solved like that. Devotees, this has been my first-hand experience. I'm very confident that it can effectively solve the problems of every individual and, by extension, every community. Gyatva mam shanti mrichati. Krishna is saying it so emphatically. If you know him as such, as the most dear friend of all living entities, as the real controller of all domains, every location. Sarva loka. Loka even sounds like location. And Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam is the one who's meant to enjoy every effort. That's whom every single effort should be dedicated to. Then there's actual peace. There's no more suffering. So this feeling expressed by Prahlad, Shocheta Tovi Mokuchetas Indiyata, we're saying, I don't have any problems. I mean, this is a real tangible thing that we should all aspire for. I don't have any problems. I only lament for those who chase after illusory happiness, thinking the senses are very dear to them. I'm simply concerned out of love for them. This feeling, this compassion, my spiritual master, His Holiness Devamrita Swami said, is the strongest spiritual emotion. I need to ask him to clarify that, but he said this in a lecture once. The strongest spiritual emotion, or did he say the most powerful spiritual emotion? This daya, this compassion. And as I've said so many times, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, love of Krishna, that feeling of love of Krishna, when it is directed towards the living entities, the jivas, is called daya, or compassion. This is some esoteric bhakti that I'm only just beginning to dip my toes into. One who is simply concerned with love of Krishna, but is not concerned, cannot also serve and honor and uplift other living entities, is called a prakrita bhakta, a materialistic devotee, a neophyte. So we don't want to just stay at that level. That's what it says in the Shastra. What's that verse? Sabhakta prakrita smrita. Archayam eva hariye pujam yashareye hate. Natad bhakteshu cha anyeshu sabhakta prakrita smrita. Prabhupada often quoted this verse, and it's a little bit challenging to all of us. But maybe that's why Prabhupada said it so much. He said that one who archayam eva hariye worships the Lord, Hari, archana, literally doing worship, like the deity form in the temple. Pujam ya shareyehate. Puja means to honor, by the way. It's a little bit different from the word archana, which is the ritual worship like arati or an abhishek, chanting mantras and things. Puja means simply to honor, which of course can be done by archana, but they're not exactly synonymous. So one who worships the Lord, pujamya sharehete, with a lot of faith, but not tad bhakteshu, but does not similarly honor all of the bhaktas, all of the devotees of the Lord. Not tad bhakteshu cha anyeshu, and literally every other living being. If you do not similarly honor puja, every other living entity, and the devotees, then sabhakta prakrita smita. Actually, that person is known as a materialistic devotee, bhakta prakrita, which sounds contradictory, right? There's a bhakta, and then there's the prakriti, the material energy. But it's implying that it's not a high level of devotion. If our concern is only for me and Krishna, it's just me and my God. To hell with everyone else, literally. We must move beyond this stage and cultivate some of this compassion, this devotion that Prahlad Maharaj is describing. He's saying, I don't have any problems, and so let me take on the problems of everybody else. Let me lament only for them. This is the solution. This is actually the solution. When we're far more concerned with the sufferings of others, when that is our anxiety, how can I help others to become Krishna conscious? It's amazing how every one of your own problems just evaporates, like a giant ocean evaporates and becomes the size of a little puddle. It's not that they're not there. The problems are still there. But owing to this intense feeling of compassion for the suffering of other living entities, one considers one's own problems to just be like a little insignificant puddle. What does that matter? While there are so many who are adantago bir vishatam tamishram, they're just slipping and sliding towards hellish existence. Puna punash charvita charvananam, Prahlad Maharaj also says. They're just like slipping, falling down towards a hellish existence, chewing what's already been chewed, just desperately trying to squeeze a little pleasure out of the same old things again and again. Prahlad says, I lament for them. And therefore, I have no problems. I've got no problems. Dear devotees, wouldn't you like to have no problems? Prahlad Maharaj is telling us how. It laments only for those who are suffering in this material existence, chasing after a virtual reality. So, this Krishna consciousness movement has all the potential to save the world. It really does. We should know. We should know with full conviction because most of us have been saved. Most of us are Hare Krishna converts, having been saved, gotten that prasada. What did Brahma say here? Prasada sumukam. Now we have such happy faces because of prasada. I love this term. I'm going to use this now. Prasada sumukam. Brahma's face was bright because the Supreme Lord was pleased. So we all know we're now prasada sumukam when we're eating that prasadam. Hare Krishna, especially this wonderful prasadam that Achyuta Mataji made a couple of weeks ago. Oh, she made that salad with the pomegranate in there, and it's just fantastic prasadam. I mean, there's definitely some sumukam going on. Anyway, if we all know, we have first-hand experience of being prasada sumukam, having pleased the Lord, received the mercy of the Lord, and therefore very joyful, very blissful. The problem is we're also very forgetful. As soon as we walk out of the kirtan, back into the street, back into our personal spaces where Maya still has quite a foothold, then we forget so easily. So the best way to remember is to always preach Krishna consciousness. The best way to always remember Krishna is to preach Krishna consciousness. You're always telling everybody about Krishna, and so you always remember Krishna. This Sankirtan movement is the solution to all of our problems. It's the solution to all of the world's problems. We need to make some commitment to participating in what is actually the Yuga Dharma. It's actually not deity worship. That is the Dharma for the Dvapara Yuga, which has passed, by the way. That was a good 5,000 some odd years ago. That was the Dharma, to worship the deity in the temple solely. The Dharma for the age of Kali is to do Sankirtana Prayar, Krishna Varnam, Tvisha Krishnam, Sangopangashta Parshadam, Yagyai, Sankirtana Prayar, Yajantihi Sumedasa. And if we're very intelligent, if we got some good brains, Sumedasa, you got some good brains, as Prabhupada would say, then we'll recognize that we're actually supposed to do Sankirtana. That's the Dharma for this age. Sankirtana Prayar. What's the purpose? Sankirtana Pranaya, which is really interesting Sanskrit here, which means pretty much just Sankirtana, which is unusual because usually the statements in the Shastras are very authoritative, they're very clear. But here, one of the Navi-yogendras is saying that in this age, those who are intelligent, they worship the form of the Lord, who always has the name Krishna in his mouth, these two syllables, Krishna Varnam, and he has the color. He doesn't have the color of Krishna, but he has the names of Krishna in his mouth all the time. And he's accompanied by his own associates, his weapons, his paraphernalia. His weapon is the kirtan. Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar. And he shows by his own example what is the Dharma for this age of Kali. Pretty much just Sankirtan. That's what Sankirtana Prayar means. Pretty much just Sankirtan. What does that mean? Pretty much just Sankirtan. It means that anything else that we might do has value if it's related to Sankirtan. That's the purpose of worshiping the deity, making the deity very beautiful, so that devotees will come together and chant the holy names congregationally. That's the purpose of the institutional management, is to facilitate the chanting, the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord, Sankirtana. That's the purpose of our following regulative principles, of our performance of austerity, of our community building, the purpose of our ashramas. It's the purpose of everything that we do in Krishna consciousness is Sankirtana Prayar, to facilitate, to encourage, to create, and to invite others to the congregational chanting of the holy names. That's what Sankirtana Prayar means. So dear devotees, sometimes maybe we need to take stock, take a moment to reflect on whether or not we've got our mission very clear. Is that the ultimate goal? Is that what everything's serving? Is that the purpose of all of my activities? So that I can chant the holy names of the Lord congregationally? So that I can encourage others to chant? It doesn't just say Kirtana Prayar, Sankirtana. This prefix sam is very important. It means the utmost or the most complete form of that thing is sam. So kirtan is wonderful. It's when all the devotees are chanting together. But what is Sankirtan? The utmost form is that everybody chants. Everybody you know. And even those you don't know. Go out and know them and invite them to chant the holy names of the Lord. That's Sankirtan. That's the significant difference between kirtan and Sankirtan. Is that what all of our activities are serving? All of our efforts, all of our devotional service, is it some way contributing to the Sankirtan? Because that's what is said, that intelligent people will worship that form of the Lord, who does what? Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar. Yajanti. That's how they worship. if we're more concerned with the suffering of others, if we feel their pain like our own, Paraduka Duki, Prahlad Maharaj says. Prahlad says so much about Sankirtan. It's amazing. Paraduka Duki, to feel the suffering of others as your own. If we feel that intense compassion, which, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, is actually love of God directed towards the living entities, then all of your problems are solved. And all of the problems of this material existence can be solved. All of the conflicts, all of the misunderstandings, all of the inequity, all of the illusion can actually be resolved if Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridham Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richiti. If, just as Brahma is saying here, one knows the Lord as the Lord of all lords, as the proprietor of the entire universe, as the benedictor of all living entities, as the original person. This is what Brahma is saying. This might sound like such a run-of-the-mill verse, right? This text number 26 in the 10th chapter of the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's like there's 10,000 verses that sound just like this. It sounds very standard. But its meaning is still so profound and so deep. If we really understood Gyatvamam Shantim Richiti, then we wouldn't have any problems anymore. But we're thinking, no, I can't do Sankirtan because I have problems. But that's not what Krishna is saying here. That's not what Brahma is saying. They don't say, well, yeah, you got so many problems, you got so many issues, so don't do Sankirtan. That's a valid excuse. No, the problems are solved by Sankirtan. Just like a whole ocean can shrink down to the size of a little puddle created by a calf's hoof print. Brahma is saying in this verse that this demon was giving trouble to the entire universe, and it's resolved. Similarly, if we can just give Krishna consciousness to the entire universe, it's all resolved. Lord Chaitanya has come to kill the demon of illusion. And everything can be resolved. What to speak of your own personal problems, all of the problems of this material existence. The devotees, we have to have conviction in this. We should have conviction because we've experienced firsthand. It's just that we can be a little forgetful. That's why we need to hear Bhagavatam all the time. Chant all the time. So that we always remember. The best way to always remember is to always tell others about it. When you preach Krishna consciousness, you're always just talking about the topmost possible thing all the time. As my dear godbrother Mahavan Prabhu said, you tell everybody about how wonderful it is to be Krishna conscious. You just say it again and again and again, and then someday it'll finally hit you. Wow, this sounds really good. I should do it too. I should really get into this Krishna consciousness. He said, that's what you get from always preaching to others about Krishna. Sharing Krishna, sharing the love of Krishna that's in your heart. It's hard. It challenges us. We feel some insecurity. We feel scared. But that's compassion. That's why Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Shoche, I actually lament. I actually lament for them. He says, I don't have any problems, but I actually feel lamentation. He doesn't say, no, I don't have to feel the lamentation of suffering for other living entities. No, it should all just be easy. He's showing that this is a real spiritual feeling. Yes, it's hard. But it's better than suffering for material existence. So my understanding of this verse, dear devotees, this text 25 and 26 of Srimad Bhagavatam that we're reading, is that we should preach Krishna consciousness and become prasada sumukham, bright-faced because of pleasing the Lord. Prasada sumukham, whose face was bright because the Supreme Lord was pleased. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Stop there. Thanks, dear devotees, for listening, for tuning in. Forgive me for getting a little worked up. I'll ask if there's any comments or even questions if you're feeling risque. If not, I hope everyone is pleased in Krishna consciousness, hopefully a little motivated, a little excited, and I hope you have a glorious Krishna conscious. Oh, Dina Palak is here.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks. That was a great class. I had two questions. The first one is, whenever you're saying that, I can't remember exactly what it was, that the love of Krishna, but directed towards the living entities, is Jiva Doya, like Doya.
Mm-hmm.
What is that from? It was really nice.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote that in his Sajjana Toshini, one of his books.
Okay. Do you have like I need it written down or something. I wanted to
Yeah, I
keep
can
it,
find the
but I
exact
don't.
words, but it's just like a long essay. It's not like not like you have verse
Okay.
numbers there.
Okay. And then the other thing, I liked your points about like, yeah, that our problems diminish, or the feeling of our problems diminish whenever we engage in Sankirtan. And so it seems like in the material world that the propaganda is pushed that we'll feel more inconvenience and suffering and problems whenever we're thinking about others. But I've been observing lately that it seems like there's actually a fatigue in just thinking about ourselves, that it's actually the other way around. So I was wondering if you could comment more on that.
How much time you got? First, let me tell you the exact quote from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Sajjana Toshini. Again, there's not really a verse number. I just wrote it down because it sounded amazing. He says, the tenderness of heart experienced toward Krishna is known as bhakti. All other jivas are servants of Krishna, and tenderness of heart towards them is compassion, daya. Therefore, compassion is included within bhakti. I think the material energy is very strong, and the challenge that we're facing in preaching Krishna consciousness, the challenges are increasing. I think what we've seen in the last, even just in the last decade, maybe 10 or 15 years, especially as the grip that social media has on people is just almost universal. I think that we're seeing a new challenge in preaching Krishna consciousness, at least something that when I got started some 25 years ago was not there. That the way these technologies work is that they're isolating people so much. I was just talking about this with Corey yesterday. They're very isolating. By getting absorbed in excessive and unnecessary media stimulation, and we all know what I'm talking about, through these little rectangles or various rectangles of various sizes. We love looking at our rectangles, right? And we feel uncomfortable if it's been a little while since we've looked at some rectangle with all of its photons hitting us in the eyeballs and scrambling our brains. The problem is that by indulging in these things, one becomes isolated because it's not something that you do with others. This endless scroll. What did Corey call it yesterday? What did you call it, Corey? This drip feed of dopamine. Drip feed. Infinite, he's always got these funny terms. Infinite horizon drip feed of dopamine. That's what it's like. When people are constantly scrolling through and therefore observing what is mostly unnecessary media. And it isolates an individual because it's not something that's usually shared with others. Maybe you see something funny and you send it to a friend, every once in a while, but it's mostly just a private activity. while you're sitting on the toilet or lying in bed or when you should be doing something else. Just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And this has become a serious addiction. And the result is that because of that isolation, because it's so unproductive, it's increasing the anxiety and the stress of people in this world. And so, what do we do when there's more anxiety and more stress? Again, get that drip feed of dopamine and continue to do more of it, just like a drug. And so, I think what I've observed, at least, is that the level of distraction and isolation and loneliness is just off the charts. There's a real malicious force in this world. And I'm at the point where I do actually believe that there could be otherworldly demoniac forces that are contributing to it. And what to speak of some of the worldly ones that we can put names on. But there's a real malicious force in this world that has its goal to divide and conquer, to isolate people so that they feel, well, I don't have the time or the energy to go out and do some service for Krishna, to connect to other people for the sake of Krishna, to perform the Sankirtana. I think there's a real force. This illusion is really getting into everyone's head. And I think our devotees are not automatically immune. And we should be very wary that it's intensifying. This is my observation. You know, I'm only one man, just trying my best to get out there and bring some people together for some Sankirtana. But this is my observation. It's intensifying. It's getting worse. I think as devotees, we need to take a serious stand. Recognize the problem, not participate in it, and really try and encourage others to connect. We are not connected, even though we're connected online. That's not the connection that the soul requires. We need to be with real people, real devotees, chanting the holy names of the Lord together. And I think the forces that are trying to stop that are really increasing. They've really ramped up a lot. But as our spiritual master said, I'm going to finish with this last quote because we're almost at time. As Gurudev said in some of his recent visits to Gita Nagari, you know, he does those evening lectures. I don't know if I can find the exact quote, but he's saying basically to the effect that the devotee sees, no matter how bad the world is getting, this is just more opportunity for me to try to preach Krishna consciousness, to try to do something. Wish I could find the exact words. This is what we need to do. We need to recognize it's definitely getting harder out there. It's definitely getting worse, which means we've got to put in more effort to give Srila Prabhupada's books, to invite people to chant the holy names, to get them prasadam, so that they can come in contact with Krishna, just like someone did for us. Someone put in a lot of effort for us. We all know. We should reflect upon it and do the same for others. Otherwise, I shudder to think of how much worse things are going to get. Oh my Krishna, Leela Kishori Mataji has raised her hand, so I know we're going to hear something very compassionate, very encouraging, and very Krishna conscious. Please, Leela Kishori Mataji, if you'd like to say something.
Hare Krishna, thank you for your wonderful class this morning. It's just, oh my gosh, it was so enlivening. And I'm going to walk all day thinking about that compassion extended toward others is love of God. Like I'm loving Krishna, and then I can channel that, I guess. I become a channel for God's peace and his love. And that's amazing. And I just also wanted to welcome Kush Singh, who's actually Karuna Shakti. She's an initiated devotee who is joining us from South Africa.
Oh, Huchandit.
So I just wanted to say welcome. It's so lovely that she did come. We were on WhatsApp this morning chatting, and I was blessed to invite her to the class. And here she is. So I just wanted to say welcome to her.
Karuna Shakti, thanks for joining us.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks for joining us from South Africa. Gita Nagari is like an embassy of South Africa, so you might as well just come out here to Gita Nagari and join us. Mostly South Africans anyway. Hare Krishna. Thanks for joining us for Bhagavatam class, and please forgive me for my offenses. All right, dear devotees, if there's no other comments or anything, then say thank you for tuning in, for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Hope you have a wonderful Krishna conscious day, and hope everybody becomes a pure devotee of Lord Krishna in this very lifetime. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.